Hey, welcome to Trendy Talks. I'm Thomas, and I'm here today to review Imperial Assault, Jabba's Realm. Star Wars Imperial Assault is a strong contender for one of my favorite board games of all time, actually. I have a lot of fun playing the campaign mode with my friends. It's a really unique mode, as long as you disregard Doom and Descent, which are also kind of very similar, but also very cool games. And the components are top-notch. And overall, the Star Wars theme doesn't hurt at all. I'm a big Star Wars fan. So obviously I was really excited when Star Wars Imperial Assault, Jabba's Realm came out. You got new bad guys, new heroes, new maps, brand new campaign, new skirmish maps, all kinds of great stuff. Very exciting for Star Wars Imperial Assault fans, a huge treat. And it comes with a Rancor. Now, like I said, I'm more of a campaign player as far as Imperial Assault goes. I don't play skirmish too much, so I'm not going to patronize skirmish players by going too much into that. I will say that it looks like you guys are getting some pretty cool command cards, and actually I believe two 4-player skirmish maps, so that's really exciting, and I'm going to have to pick it up soon. I think it'd be a lot of fun. As far as the campaign goes, I'll get to that at the end of the video, because I will have a couple spoilers, so I'll warn you whenever that's about to happen. But first I want to talk about the components. So first, like I said, you get new map pieces, all kinds of stuff. Probably the coolest thing that a lot of people are really going to be interested, though, are the minis. These are really high-quality miniatures. You get some cool stuff in this wave, including dewback riders, jet troopers, some really interesting-looking heroes. I really like the Weequay Skiff-Guard model, and also, of course, the Rancor. I did have some issues with the models, though, and I'm not sure what it was, if it was just because the cold weather while these were being shipped made the plastic rigid and more likely to break, or if it was just those really heavy Rancor pieces rattling around with all the others, because they are shipped in one bag inside the box. But when I got my box for Jabba's Realm, it actually had 4 of the minis were broken. 2 Gamorreans had their tops of the spears knocked off. 1 Weequay guard had the top of his spear thing knocked off. And Shyla, probably most disappointing of all, was just completely knocked off of her base. Now, I am not alone in this, apparently. There's, on the Fantasy Flight forums, about at least 3 pages long thread of other people confirming that they've had issues with figures being broken too. Now, this is really the first time I've had too much issue with Fantasy Flight's Imperial Assault figures being broken on shipping. I had one Nexu tail broken once. But as with this case and with now, Fantasy Flight does a great job of replacing these minis. If you just send in a form, very little questions asked, just snap a pic and send it to them, and they'll send it out to you. Processing takes a little while, and I'm still waiting on my broken minis to come, but I'm at least very thankful that they do take responsibility and replace those. Quick look at the units in this wave. The Elite Gamorrean Guards seem to be definitely worth the 2 points over the regular version, with the free rerolls on attacks and their no damage dealing penalty. Kind of interesting how different the Gamorrean Honor and the Gamorrean Honor Guard abilities are, though. Jet Troopers are a little bit underwhelming considering how cool their minis are. Their minis are really cool. Their abilities are meh. Overall, I would say, though, that their Jet's ability is probably going to be coming in handy for Imperial players that are trying to mitigate crunching up hallways too much. The Rancor, oh man, is this thing cool. Not only is the mini, you can barely even call it a mini, just incredibly big and intimidating, but I think that the big hunk of plastic is well worth the 10 points that you spend to bring him in. I'm always a sucker for a unit that can deal non-attack damage, and the same goes for Taro. He gets some pretty decent attack and some non-attack damage ability, and he gets free movement, which can really kind of help him get in position to be a pain, and maybe even get out of there afterward. Jabba of the Jabba's Realm is also a really interesting character. He has a lot of abilities. Not a real strong fighter, but he just has a ton of abilities that can really help you during the course of a battle. And if you manage to keep him alive, you actually get till the end of the mission, you actually get a extra threat. So keeping him alive can be really beneficial as well. I should note that he does have a different skirmish card. And of course, Jedi Luke finally joins Imperial Assault. A lot of recent allies and villains have been pretty moderately priced, and Luke kind of breaks that at 12 points. But, I think he's worth it. He gets to attack each turn without using an action, so technically you could have him attack twice. He also has a really cool deflect ability that can kind of help put damage on units while he's being attacked. So I think he's going to be really cool. He'll be an interesting It'll be interesting to see if he ends up coming against Vader in our next campaign, because I think that would be a pretty cool showdown. Okay, before I end the video, I do want to talk about the campaign a little bit. So this is your spoiler warning. If you don't want to be spoiled, if you're a Rebel player, whatever it is, you can go ahead and check out our Bestman Gambit playthrough. Otherwise, if you're still here, let's chat. All right, so the campaign takes a little bit of an interesting turn in that early on in the campaign, you're actually working for Jabba. So as far as story missions go, the players actually get to choose which story mission they want to do, as opposed to the traditional way of the previous mission dictating what you play. So this is just kind of a cool way to have it seem like you're kind of accepting contracts from Jabba. Now, during this time, you're also playing side missions intermittently as well. And that kind of maybe might seem a little bit jarring, just because they won't seem like Jabba contracts. But I guess maybe Jabba lets the rebels still work on the rebellion as well. I don't know. Anyway, at one point in the campaign, the heroes have to make a choice, kind of almost like a Mass Effect style thing, where they want to stay with Jabba or help the rebellion out and kind of piss Jabba off. And what the rebels choose during that period really affects the rest of the campaign pretty heavily. So it's a pretty interesting addition to the campaign, and I would like to see things like it in the future. I think it's really cool. Now, I'm not going to spoil the rest because I think I've already honestly said too much. I think the campaign just deserves to be played. Just know you're going to some really cool places like Dathomir, Ord Mantell, and obviously, Jabba's palace and the Sarlacc pit. You really are going some cool places. It's a lot of fun. Also, the campaign makes some use of underutilized components from the core box, including IG-88, who makes a little bit of a return in this one. So just to recap, Jabba's Realm has great new game-changing, just beautifully sculpted units. Probably the most interesting campaign to date. It does seem to be a lot of issues with shipping broken parts. And when will we ever leave Tatooine? I am ready for a new planet. Hopefully we'll get some more exciting locales in the future. So yeah, I actually just finished painting my Jabba's Realm figurines today, and I'm excited to really get into a campaign with it pretty soon. Check out our upcoming playthrough of the first mission of Jabba's Realm coming up later this month, early next month. We'll have it out. Yeah, Jabba's Realm out now. It's a lot of fun. I'd highly suggest it, especially if you're an Imperial Assault player. You may already have it. But yeah, if you're not, go ahead and check out our tutorial for Star Wars Imperial Assault. You can kind of learn how to play the game. And maybe you'll be interested in this bad boy pretty soon. So yeah, we've got some cool videos coming out later this week. We've got an episode of The Boardroom. We've got subtrending, and we've got a What's Up With, and a Set It coming out pretty soon. So stay tuned. If you want to donate to our GoFundMe so we can get cool stuff for our studio, you can go ahead and click on the link there, and have a good day.